Hi everyone, Jacqueline here. So today it is a very hot, humid day here in Saskatchewan. It's probably 33, 34 degrees Celsius. For us, that's very warm because it is humid. I mean, it's been so humid lately that, when you wake up in the morning, the sky is foggy because there's so much moisture and everything's wet. You'd swear it rained. And we had rain on the weekend, but not here. In other areas of the province, yes, but not here. So to see all this fog has been very unusual, which has led into some really warm weather for the past 2 days. So we did get the tree down and cleaned up, and I'll show you some footage of what it looks like now. There's not much to see, and we got those things done. So today, because it's so warm, we're going to do some general maintenance. And the first thing I want to tackle here is this deck rail planter. This deck rail planter is overloaded. And the star of the show here is the bubblegum Petunia, and it looks really good. I probably don't need to cut it back, but eventually it's going to start looking kind of shaggy. And we can see here how full this is. But underneath, if I lift it up a bit, you can see it still looks good. So rather than let it become shaggy and spindly, which is what happens, I'm going to come and shape it and cut it off just to keep it looking beautiful here in the summer. So we're going to do some maintenance tasks because it's hot and I'm not going to kill myself in the heat. I also want to share with you some of the coneflower plants that I found at the North Home Depot store yesterday. And they're not in the best of shape, but I picked them up for $3 and $5. And I'll share with you some of those plants that I got and a few others that I picked up, and then we might put 2 or 3 in. And then I want to share with you a very unique coneflower plant that I found that I haven't seen anywhere, and I did pay full price for it because I was in love with the color. So I'll share that with you and get your thoughts on that one. But first, let's tackle some of these deck rail planters that are getting pretty wild and maybe a little out of control, but still stunning. So I'm basically just going to take my pruners, lift it up on the edge here, and come through and just give her a cut back. And I'm going to take a lot off, and it's, for some of you, you might say, hey, it's still looking good. Why are you doing this? Well, because one of these days I'm going to wake up and it's going to look like crap or caca. So we'll just deal with it now. And I'll take a lot of it off and make sure I don't take my finger with it, being I can't really see what I'm cutting there, but you can kind of see what I'm taking off. It's quite a bit. And the reason I say that about being careful when you cut and prune stuff, or especially when you use hedge trimmers, is there was a YouTuber I seen last year who was pruning her boxwoods with hedge trimmers, and she put her hand into the boxwood, and well, you can guess what happened to her hand. She ended up having to have multiple surgeries done on her hand, and basically snipped her fingers off with the hedge trimmer, and they had to reattach them. And I'm not making this stuff up. So beware, be present when you do stuff, especially like if you're doing work like I do for videos and that, because you're so focused on the video, sometimes you don't realize your fingers are in the way. So there's my service announcement. I had to share that with you because when I seen it and she showed her hands all wrapped up in gauze and that, I was horrified, to be quite honest, because stuff does happen. All right, let's do the next one. That's pretty good. It's not leaning over the other side like it is this way, so I just cleaned it up. Real simple. This one is the same. It's not so bad. So I'm just going to do it now, and then it's done. The vine underneath here, it needs some light because it's buried by the petunias, so I'm just going to kind of carefully open that up to let the wandering dude have some air movement in there. This is really thick. Look at how thick that is. You couldn't even see that plant underneath there. It's crazy. And I'll just show you. These actually flower. I'll show you that up close. Look at the little flowers they get on them. This little pink flowers. Very delicate. Quite pretty. Okay, that was a real easy one. Dahlias. I have a dahlia here that probably needs some pruning. Whoops, I dropped some petunias on it. We're just going to go and look at that. You can see we have a lot of buds on this. I'm going to zoom in a bit. But down here at the bottom on the other side, it's a little shaggy. So we'll just come in and deadhead those. And I like to go through and pick off any leaves that are looking crappy. And I just remove them because they will sprout new leaves. If you see any pests or anything on them, you can go ahead and spray it and treat it at this point. We just want to keep it blooming. We're at that time of the year now. We're mid to late August where, you know, we're going to start looking at our first frost. Sometimes it's end of August. Sometimes it's September. Sometimes it's not in October. It's, you never know each year. Here's another dahlia here. You'll have to ignore the tarp. Underneath that tarp, and I'm just going to lower this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here, is a coffee table. I picked up a coffee table for like, I think it was about $17, $18 at the thrift store. Solid wood, glass doors. I'll give you a peek at it. We've covered it up out here because we want to strip it. But I've been wanting a coffee table with doors on it forever because I'm tired of stuff all over the coffee table. And I found one reasonable and it's solid wood. So I'll give you a peek of that. That's an upcoming project that I usually don't do those projects on this channel, but it'll be a project that I will do on Jacqueline's home and refinish it. That's the channel I'm trying to get up and going more, and it's taken me a while to do it. I can put a link in this video if you're interested in that kind of thing. Sometimes gardeners are interested in that because we always have other interests, and sometimes gardeners aren't. So let's have a look at that right now. Take you over here and give you a peek of what's sitting underneath here. I didn't want to strip it inside because of the chemicals, and this is the time. Oops. So I'll just show you what it's like under here, and hopefully you can see the doors. If you don't like this, if you don't like this kind of thing, you can kind of skip past it. But there is the coffee table, and you can see the doors on the front of it. It's very dark. I like dark wood, but this has had multiple layers of stuff put on it. But glass doors down there in the front, and it's a nice square. So I'm going to refinish it whenever I find some free time here. But I need to definitely get it stripped, and I can finish it in the basement in the house after I get stripped. I'm thinking of either doing a very light wood stain on it, or it is going to have a coating of white paint on it. It could be milk paint too. I haven't decided yet, but those are kind of leaning. I'm kind of leaning toward white to keep it light and airy. So that was a good find. And we'll just cover that back up because we are in that weather watch for thunderstorms, and I don't want it to get water damaged. Okay, so those were the two plants that needed to be cut back. Now I will take you and show you the coneflowers that I got and what kind of shape they're in. So beware, this is a video, like I mentioned earlier, a bit of everything in it, a few things we're gonna do, and just taking it easy in the heat. So I have these all piled up along the side of the house here, and I have a variety of plants here, and I'll go through what I have. And these are some of the things I've been picking up recently, and I have them here because I was thinking of putting some of them in the front garden. It's been a big debate, but I'll show you the coneflowers. I got 6 of these. And you can see what they're like. So I picked these up for $3, regular $14.98. I mean, I gotta soak the hell out of them because they're dry, but you can see they were a red, and they're considered the double scoop strawberry juice bright red. And I like a good red in the garden because I love the fall colors. And that's what I find with some gardens, including my own, is sometimes you're in a bit of a rut. You get into the pinks and the blues and stuff, and then fall comes and you don't have a lot of color for the garden. Adding an area in your garden, a border, or just a small, narrow flower bed allows you to add plants that have some color to give you some fall color to get you through. So I'm advocating for fall plants and mixing your colors up, but hey, I get the desire for the pinks and blues because they're beautiful and they're very calming, including whites. So you can see here what kind of shape this is in, and you can see there's some leaves here. Cut this back. I'm going to save these because I like the double scoop, and dry them, and then I can start some even in the garden direct for the fall, and they should come up next year. So we're going to take some of these and put them in. I'm only going to take 3 of them for now. I did get one pink. Where is it? Pink, 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 pink. There's a pink one here, and I don't see it. Ah, there it is. This is the double scoop pink. You will have seen it in my last video when I put it in the garden in the front. That one I got, well, I managed to get another one. And this is considered Watermelon Deluxe Bright Pink. This one's pretty good. The foliage is good on it. This needs to be cut off, but it's looking pretty healthy. So I'll save that and plant in the front. All right, here is the one that I was totally fascinated with and had to have, and only seen one of them, Home Depot. Look at the colors on that flower. So healthy, so nice. It's a coneflower, echinacea, considered a sun seekers, tequila sunrise, golden yellow shades. There is a good 3 plants in here. So this is a win. So if you figure you divide 20 bucks by 3 plants, because you can get 3 separate plants out of it. And you can see here that there's 3 there. With a good saw, you can cut through the roots. That's a nice addition to the garden. So I got to figure out where I'm going to put that. I need to put in an area where I need lots of color. But so far, this is the favorite coneflower color that I've ever seen. I usually gravitate to the oranges, but this one is absolutely splendid. So if you see this one and it's in good condition and you can get 3 or 4 plants out of it, I would recommend it, because look at that color. It's just beautiful. And in the evening, it just shines. This year has been a year for mixed pots. I find it's been great that way. And this is one of them. And you can see it's called a Perennial Combo Double Delight. And it's gaillardia, Yellow Touch, and I can't pronounce it, Luke, and I can't even read it really. Leucocium Christine, red with yellow tips and white. So you had a variety of plants in here. You can see here, there's the white, not looking the best. So I'll cut that back another day and put those in. I got to find a home for it. So you'll see videos coming up where I plant all this stuff in the garden. And I have some key areas and certain color combinations I want to do. Not necessarily is it going to be all fall colors. I do have sections of the garden that want to have a strong pink, purple, lavender, white accent in the front garden. And then there's areas of the front garden where I want the hot fall colors. Kind of satisfy both of my needs. So let's pick up 3 of these smaller containers here. And you can see here, these were an upside down $3. And this is the Dalmatian gaillardia spin top. I've grown these before. These are in the back of the garden with the heucheras. So we're going to add these in, and they need to go in. So I'm going to take 3 of the worst ones that I got here and throw it in the cart, and we'll go plant them. So this is the area I want to put them in. It hasn't done much. Zinnias are being eaten alive. They didn't do well here at all. And I've been pulling them out of this area just because they've been getting eaten. So first I'm going to take out some plants in here, and then we'll cut back the coneflowers and put them in here so that we have a permanent planting of beautiful color for spring next year. I mean, that's what we're looking at right now. We're looking at planning for next year with this. So we'll start with that. So I'm just going to take these out, and I'm just going to take the weeds out and any dead leaves. You can see the zinnias are just bad. Look at how bad they are in this particular bed. Eaten alive. And we're just going to open it up to put those plants in. There, that's better already. And the reason these coleus aren't doing well, and I see one's being eaten, is because I put them in really, really late. So that's on me. Aha! So we'll just take this out, and you can see it's dry right to the bone. Look at that. And it needs to go in. And you see there's some bent, broken stems in there. I'm just going to leave them. And I'm just going to loosen the bottom a bit. Loosen those roots up, and then when I come back and water it, that should give it a good start. And just scatter those. All right, that one's done. Now I'm going to put one in the middle, and take this one out, and then one on the far edge. This one here has quite a few little weeds and stuff in it, so I just take them out. We don't need to add them to the garden. Mother Nature will do that for us. Although there's some sort of flower in there. They're not a delphinium, but they look very close to a delphinium seed. So anyhow, we'll just deal with that. And this one's a lot more moist. Just make sure I didn't cover this one up because I want the sun to get at it. All right, let's go around to the other side and do another one. 3 years to get your perennials to look full and vibrant, because the first year they're setting down the roots, second year they're growing a bit. You'll get flowers the second year in coneflowers, and then the third year they will expand their growth and form really nice mounds of plants. And once you hit the third year, if you want to start dividing them, you can. So, which is a wonderful thing. While I'm in this bed, I am gonna give a quick pruning to the yarrow. This is an orange yarrow. It is faded out and it needs a haircut. And because it's not flopping too bad, I'm just going to take the tops off because there's new shoots coming on the sides. So I'm just looking for those new shoots and cutting above. And then if there's anything looking straggly, go down a little bit further. So like this one, it's in the center there. This one is down there. Take that one down, and you kind of get a gist of what I'm doing with this. I'll show you those new shoots. I'm going to zero in on it so you can see. I know I've talked about this in other videos, but this one's a really good example of where those new shoots are coming. See if I can show you this. Here they are, right here on the stem, right there. And then you can see I've cut these already a bit and there's new ones coming there. Same with this one right in the center there. That's why I didn't take it. Once that one comes up a little bit more, then I'll clean the outside of it. So that's how you deal with yarrow that hasn't flopped. Now I'm going to cut the gaillardia back. I really like this particular gaillardia because it's a border plant. I mean, that's as tall as it gets. So it's perfect for the front of a border to give you that fall, beautiful color. And you know, they seem to bloom pretty much most of the summer, but they're really going to shine in the fall when other things have wound down. So I'm just going to come through and cut off the spent blooms here. Whew. Mosquitoes are biting. We're not going to go too hard on this plant. We're just going to give it a bit of a haircut. I'll just move things so you can see. And then I'm just going to go through and trim all the dead off of it. There are new shoots coming right there. So I mean, and like, so you want to leave those because they're going to give you some color. You could also pinch these off with your fingers. I mean, they're real easy to come in and just pinch. And quite honestly, other than the odd one, that is. And there's your seeds. If you want to save the seeds, there they are. You've seen some fall into the container probably. Whoops, lost a flower. And these are new pruners too. I'm going to have these plants all over the place. See, there's the seeds ready for collecting. So you can see there, that one's ready to put in. So we will plant that now. I'm going to put it in this clover. I don't plan on putting annuals everywhere in the beds next year. I really do want to have a lot more perennials and stuff. I will add some, but not a lot. And these beds were added late, filled late, so I mean, they haven't done a lot. And quite honestly, these petunias did not produce like the ones that I grew myself from Bessie's. Go figure. So I'll do more of that in the future. So this is Mariachi Red Sky, gaillardia, and really root bound. So we're just gonna put her in here. This soil is so nice, I could pretty much dig it down with my hands. Okay, so I quickly just put the three of them in. You've seen me do this before, and they're all cut back and in there. So that is done. Now I'm gonna show you how I prune garden phlox. Here is the garden phlox. And it's starting to look a little spent. So what I do with these is I just come through and I take the tops off, because they will get shoots like the other perennials further down. You can see how I left that. So just remove anything that's looking raggedy. If you've got side shoots, take those too and allow it to come back with more shoots, because it will. That's what I like about perennials. If you look after them, I mean, they don't require a lot of maintenance. This is rather enjoyable. They will reward you with more blooms. Now, if you're wondering how do you tell a spent flower on garden phlox versus a new bloom, this is what a new bloom would look like. It'll be nice green, and the spent flowers will start to darken, and they'll be crispy and more crunchy to the touch. And that's how you know what to cut with these, because these can be kind of tricky to prune. So if you watch for those two things, you should easily be able to prune your garden phlox and have more blooms a couple weeks. So very easy. So look for those crusty ones that are darker colored and crunchy. So I'll share with you how the foxglove is doing. I'm starting to get some blooms now. So these are like a yellow kind of white. They're the Camelot. Bloomed the first year, Johnny seeds. You'll see over there, there is a pink one in the mix. I did try to grow some pink and I screwed up and forgot to water them. Oops, and killed them. I did really well with the white ones though. I didn't forget them. Go figure. So there is one pink one in there. And that's a Dalmatian mix, the pink. I really like the pink because of the spotting inside the bell-shaped tubular flowers. So let's have a quick look at that one because it might be the only one I have out here. We'll see because I did plant quite a few, but yeah, we have our moments as gardeners. Life gets ahead of us and things get screwed up, and I'm totally guilty as charged. Now this is the Dalmatian pink, and these are the spotting that I like in there. I think they're beautiful. And of course, you would swear it's the same color, but it's not, it's a pink. Whereas these are white, and then the spotting is more of a chartreuse green. So these are the colors you're getting, and of course they're mixed in with purple petunias. And I mean, these are just starting to come into bloom, so they should be stunning in 2 more weeks, because you can see there's more shoots coming up in here. These have been amazing over in this garden. They seem to like the conditions. There is some shade in this garden, but they seem to love it. So definitely going to plant more of these in this area, but they need to be first year bloomers. I just like the blooms first year. I'm impatient. So, but look at that screw up there. But it's a beautiful screw up, don't you think? And the pink passion petunias, a little bit of heat and they've really started to spread out. These are my favorite. They're definitely going to be in my front border next year, and a lot of them. And these are from Vessie's. And these are a spreader. So they're equal to a wave petunia, and they're gorgeous. Look at this one over here. I've got 3 beds with them in it, and they're all producing about the same. It doesn't seem to matter where they are. So that's great. And look at these zinnias. We got a little bit of rain. I didn't come out in powder, and look what's going on. Nasty. So I'll be removing some of those. I'm just looking to see if I spot anything crawling on them. Yeah. There are all sorts of stuff crawling on these that are eating them. All sorts of bugs. Not happy. This may be the end of me growing zinnias over here. All right, let's go do one more task. Right, so some of the dahlias do need a good pruning here. You can see this is a single that was in that mixed container. I'm going to go through these as I do them and tell you what I would keep and what I wouldn't. This one I would keep. It's very showy, nice blooms, and for a single, it's got good height on it, and it works with the color scheme I'm doing here, which is mostly pinks and purples. So we're going to cut back the ones that aren't looking so great in here. And these came from a package. And this one, bud here, not looking that good. So we'll clean those out. Done. And you can kind of get a look at the coloring on them. I really like these. Next. This one, the flowers were so petite, I don't think it's worth growing it again or saving the tuber. I'm just not happy with it. Down here, this is the one that grew from seed. It would be a decorative. We'll see how they do. They're a little slower to bloom. On to the next one. It's hard to tell what is in here, but we have a red. And I'm just going to cut it and you can see what we're working with here. This one, we'll see what happens. I'm going to come through and give it a good feed. Flowers are pretty small. I mean, beautiful color, but to me, not a showstopper. This is the same darn plant here. There are multiples of the same color in the package. That's what happens when you buy packages. Once again, love the color. The quality sucks. So, and these were bought from Home Depot. I'm going to order some, I think, from Vessie's next. All right. This one is a keeper, this red. I am loving it. It's a very strong plant. It puts on a really nice show. The colors are gorgeous. And I'll just take a cut of this one so you can kind of see what I'm working with. And I think this one here is a keeper. It's a beautiful decorative, really pretty. Love the hint of yellow on the tips. Very striking, stands out nicely in the garden, pairs well with other colors, particularly for fall. This one, I have mixed feelings on this one, I'll be honest. They fade out to a white. I'll show you how they fade out. And I've mentioned this one before. These are more of a ball. Quite pretty, actually, when they fade out. So they aren't ugly when they fade out. You get lots of buds on them. They start out more of a peachy pink before they fade. So this one is worth considering just because I'm fond of this coloring. This one here, definitely not worth keeping. Flowers are very poor. Lots of buds. Just overall, not the quality I'm looking for. Do like the color. I mean, you can see here, but not happy with how it produces. All right, so that is it for this video. And I hope you enjoyed it. We did a bit of everything. It's that kind of night. And you can see right here, this is the first year of my, oops, I got ants on me, of my limelight blooming with a daylily underneath it, which I'm going to move, but very pretty. And eventually this whole area is going to have tons of hydrangeas in it. So before we go, I'm just going to share my plans for the area where we're taking the trees down, and then that'll be a wrap. All right, the tree is all cleaned up. Everything's been hauled away. We got 2 more to take down here. This whole area in front of the deck, right here, where the delphinium are, is gonna be a rectangular area. So it'll be all rectangular around here, out here to the end of the deck. And I'm gonna frame it next year, because this is all next year. Getting the trees down and grinded and ready to go is this year. It's going to be framed with hydrangeas, arbors, with paths leading into it to the shed, to the gazebo, because I had paths on my list, but I couldn't do anything with the paths because I had trees to take down, because I do have some more to take down that will land on the paths and crush the flowers. So this whole area is going to be revamped, full of color, full of flowers. I'm going to do concrete blocks in here with grass probably that wide in between the blocks on an angle. In here, probably a fire pit, and I would like some wicker or rattan rocking chairs in this area. And probably the arbor, I would like to kind of run it all the way around the outer edge, and it'll just be a single. So it'd be like 2 posts with arbor on the top, and run it around to frame the area off. I need to allow room for Rob's car to come through there and get around. So I have to be very strategic how I do this until we get him moved out of there and I get my gazebo, which I don't know, it's probably 4 years out at this point. Anyhow, that's the plan, and I just wanted to share that with you. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, check out Jacqueline's home. I will put a link in the description. It's brand new. I'm working on that. For home decor, decorating, cleaning, organizing on that channel to help motivate myself as well to keep up with that things and to make things beautiful, especially during the winter. So anyhow, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.